Ready?
We connect my AirPods.
Nice top.
Oh
Thank
wow,
you.
you're
Nice
right.
talk. Nice. Wow, I haven't seen
Thanks,
that
man.
before.
I wonder who got that down.
Yeah, I wonder, man. I wonder. Yeah. I found my top in the back of my cupboard, and that one's.
Oh, swear down.
I guess.
Yeah,
How did
nice
you
top.
decide which one to wear? This guy's got like 100.
So my
bowls.
brother said to wear the last one where we won the Champions League.
Oh my god.
And I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. We have to talk about current
Be
day
quite a while back,
situations.
wouldn't it be, Agaash? Quite a while back, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd have to go quite far back in the cupboard for that one, innit? Then again,
Yeah.
I don't have a cupboard for that, so it's kind of peeking in.
Oh, I got that. Tottenham don't either, but they somehow got into this shenanigans. Anyways, welcome back to the 18 podcast. We're just gonna start straight off the bat.
I'm getting a trim tomorrow. Sorry to start telling everyone.
Oh wow.
Where from? Say nothing.
Yeah, man, it's taking it. But I was like last resort. Sorry, so I started letting everyone know that. So you got to see this. You got to see this next week, and then yeah.
I'm getting mine in a while, so
Really
don't care in it. So just keep going out.
all right. Sorry. All
And
right.
Kel gets his own trim, innit? Does it? No,
Yeah.
does it himself, sort of thing. So
It's
Does it
expired
himself,
now,
so
though. I can't lie. It's
that's fine.
expired.
You can just do it tomorrow morning.
Oh god.
The main thing we're going to be talking about today is the Super League. But before we get onto that, we didn't record last week because it was these two's birthday. And there were birthdays on the days that we usually record. Like either one of the days that we record, it was both. No, it wasn't. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, like around the time.
It was their birthday, so happy birthday to the both of you. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Happy belated birthday to the both of you. If you haven't seen anything from the TikTok, it's because I started uni and the work just slapped me around the face, and it will be coming out like this week. So before Sunday, you'll see the TikTok. Like I'll just drop all of them at one point in it, so like at the same time. So you'll see that coming out. What else has happened before we get onto the shenanigans? My G, King Philip, Prince Philip, died. My slime, rest in peace.
Goat.
Also, you know, did you guys see the thing that just now the George Floyd stuff? Like the guy got guilty with all charges.
Yeah. So how many years is that? Is it like is he finished? Dusted?
He's finished basically.
Yeah, that's
just finished. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, that's good. It's a very good day in it today. Yeah.
Finally, like a year or so later,
finally got the justice.
It's been a year already.
Yeah. Americans, innit? We'll get onto Americans as well. But good justice for George Floyd. It's good for that. What else has happened? You know what? Forget. European Super League is the main topic. But obviously, the other stuff that's happened is also like quite serious. But this is what's basically taken over the world right now as we speak. So European Super League. Now, the way I want to talk about it, because we're recording on the what's the date today? On the 20th of April, right? We know some stuff. We were meant to record last night, and thankfully Harish did a last minute. Yo, why don't we do it tomorrow? We're gonna find out more stuff in this that, and like, luckily I'm glad you did that because a lot of stuff happened last night. I don't know how we can approach this whole situation, but we literally can just go over it, like what happened step by step.
Like a chronological day. Yeah, I agree.
Who do you want to start, or should I?
You're the man with the information in it. So
I mean,
you should.
The European Super League is not something new. I think we all know that. It's been going on for a while. It only became
9 years in it. It's been in the work. It's been in the works.
I think it's more than that. I think it's. I mean, like officially, yeah, but I think it's more than that. Like the idea of it.
Idea of it. Like I'm doing Wenger saying 2009. He's been like, he was like, oh, there will be like a league, whatever.
It's been going on for years and years, and finally, we knew it was going to happen at some point, but we didn't think it was going to happen so soon. Suddenly, on a Sunday afternoon, we just get like a news report, I think, saying, oh, like today, all the clubs, so the 12 clubs are going to announce that they're part of the Super League. And the 12 clubs are, we've got Arsenal here, we've got Liverpool, we've got Barca, we've got Real Madrid, we've got Juventus, Inter, AC Milan, United, Tottenham, Chelsea, City. So from the three nations, that's from Spain, Italy, and England, they want to form a European Super League. Initially, it's the 12 teams, the 12 founding members is what they said, and then they would have the 3 extra teams or something like they were meant to bring in, and then another 5 through playoffs and whatever strategy. I don't know, however they're going to do it, but they'll have altogether 20 teams, 10 in 2 sort of leagues, with teams going in playoffs and then facing each other and finally winning the trophy, whether it's cash trophy, whether it's no relegation. Is basically the NBA thing, the NBA format, East and West Conference, whatever. It's a shambles. It came out on a Sunday.
Much, yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, okay, it's just news, whatever." And then like all the teams basically just at some time just officially announced it. It was like at 11 or something, some crazy time on a
Except
Sunday.
Boston the next morning, they tweeted.
Yeah, the next morning. We'll talk about that as well. But all the teams, or most of the teams, those teams I mentioned, announced on the Sunday, like, "Oh, we're going to be part of this European Super League." Now, what's significant is the way and when they've said it. I think that's the most important thing out of all of it. The person who's organizing it as well is the president of Real Madrid, Florentino Perez. You can have your opinions on him and whatnot. You know what my opinions of him are. The vice chairman of it is Agnelli from Juventus. We've got, Henry? What's his first name? The prick.
John.
Is it John Henry?
Henry.
Yeah. And the Glazer lot. So it's the 3 of them underneath, or like, you know, the same level as Perez. And they were the 4, I'd say, that actually wanted this. Like, they were pushing this whole idea. Yeah. So the Americans, and then Florentino and Agnelli. When they announced that they were part of the whole Super League, the European Super League, they told the ECA that they were getting rid of their roles in that division and whatever. And it just caused uproar because there were many things that they had to go through, and there were many things that they said that they would do, and like fans across the world were just not happy about it. It was the whole idea of competition had all been gone. This whole idea of money where you'd enter and you get like, how much is it? How much million? Like it's about like 350 million just for accepting an invitation. For winning it, you'd get like, was it 300, 400 million? You don't get relegated. Like it was just
if you're part of the founding member.
Yeah, if you're a founder member, you're not going to get relegated. So every year you'll be in this sort of league. And obviously fans across the world were like, no. And then people were like, how would it work? And Florentino Perez, I would say, he did say he wanted it to replace the Champions League, right? That's important because what people began to believe was, they want to do that instead of the Champions League sort of thing. They never said that. They said that they would rather, well, they did, but in a way where
it wasn't like
didn't want to be part of the Champions League anymore. And there are reasons for that. One of the main reasons is the money in Champions League as well. You don't get enough money for winning the Champions League. You know, fun fact, if you get relegated from the Premier League, you get more money than you win in the Champions League. Obviously, you play more games in the Premier League, but you still get more. So Sheffield United will get more money than a winner of the Champions League. Obviously, there's TV rights and whatnot and everything like that.
It was something
it might add up, but
I think it was if you won the Premier, the Champions League, you got less money than you would have got for entering the league itself, even accepting the invite in it. So
this league is also run by JP Morgan. TV rights hadn't been announced as of yet.
They wanted to get like Disney on it and stuff as well.
Yeah, Disney and Netflix. I don't know, it's some crazy stuff. But the overall opinion on that Sunday night was like, what the, you know? Like it was just all of a mess. I think we were on Xbox that day, and we were talking about it. Like, we were. What were your thoughts on it? I've done a lot of talking.
Kel go first, and I always go first.
Yeah, go on, Kel.
Okay.
As an Arsenal fan, on that
First
Sunday,
of all,
on that Sunday,
the thing that made me very kind of like, what the was the stuff about it replacing the Prem and like how the teams would be kicked out of the Prem. And the fact that obviously our admins tweeted out like it's an official thing for us that we're part of it. So my thoughts on it is stupid because I'd rather I had to wait 5 years for us to get back in the Champions League the proper way than pay our way to playing against the top clubs in Europe when at the moment we're nowhere near that, bro. We'll literally just it's between us and Tottenham would be the bottom two teams in it. Like as it stands, like it would just be so bad. Like it's just such a stupid idea that you can just pay to play, and then it kind of defeats the whole excitement and purpose of like this whole season because it's like, what's the real purpose? Like apart from the one winner, there's like nothing else to really play for, is there? I think it's a really stupid idea, personally. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Go on.
No, what you
I'll ask you at the end. I'll ask you both at the end.
I think I kind of agree. I was obviously, besides the point of like, obviously, I think Liverpool would do all right in it, but that's like, let's leave that point. But I just think it was a bit of like what it was the fact that like, that no one could get relegated. I think that's what it was. That was a big thing for me because this is like, like I'm gonna get bored. Like I'm gonna get bored seeing us play Madrid like 2 times a year every year. Like I'm just like, I don't really care anymore, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? And then like hypothetically, because with the original plans, it was like, you should be able to play in the Prem as well. So at this point, we've been playing like United like 4 or 5 times a season. Like, I don't want to watch that. Like, I'm gonna get bored of it.
More than that.
Yeah, more than that. More at least 4 times a season.
Yeah.
I'm okay now. I don't even want to watch us like United. But like, I don't want to watch that 4 times a season. United, City, Chelsea, Tottenham, and Arsenal.
Exactly.
You'd get bored of it, innit? And it kind of takes away from like the whole, the novelty of like drawing a big team in the Champions League. Like, that whole feeling is like, like when we have Madrid, even though we lost whatever, I still enjoyed it because it was like, it's a big like heavyweight tie. Last time we played them was like in the group stages, like 2013, when we had like when Brendan Rodgers was manager and we had like next man starting in it. Exactly. Like some next team in it when Gerrard wasn't even starting at the Bernabeu in it. It was that sort of vibe. And it's obviously
was it the final?
Cool.
But
okay, if anything as well, the finals even more. But like as in like in the group stages, whatever, before the final, and like it's this thing of like, if I'm playing them every day, I'm just not gonna care. Like, all right, cool, it's Madrid, all right, cool. And then it kind of takes another thing is that like, which fans can afford to fly out to Spain 3 times a year and afford to fly out to Italy 3 times a year, train tickets to all over the country? Like, no one's gonna be able to afford that. And it's just something which it was just it was an idea. It was like, it's for the money and not for the people, innit?
Yeah.
But I think that's what my main issue was with it.
So yeah, going back to the whole money situation that you both talked about, it was purely money based. We'll get on to what Perez said last night, but on the Sunday night, you sort of think about why they would do this and stuff like that, and you break down every team because we know that the money was the motivation. And I can be real with you lot. I can understand why certain teams would say yes to this. For example, like Liverpool, I understand why you lot said yes to this. Like you lot are in a way, you do need money.
Yeah, of course.
You do need money. Same with Arsenal. Like I don't know, you lot I know a bit about Liverpool in it because I like to read about Liverpool. But with Arsenal, you lot are a bit like I don't know what's going on. From what I'm like gathering, it's sort of obvious that there's these whole plans, like Harry said, it's been going on for 9 years. There's a reason why Kroenke hasn't invested in you lot in it, because he knows that this was going to happen and you lot were going to get paid and you lot were going to be calm. So it all adds up now, innit? Like it's kind of like, obviously he might have other reasons, like he's not investing in you lot for this and that and this and that, but he knew at one point that Arsenal are going to be in the Super League. Why invest my money now? Where you could just wait, where all this money is just going to fly into my club, guaranteed. Obviously, not guaranteed now, but they thought that it would be possible for it to be guaranteed, innit? So with Arsenal, I don't know, it's a bit 50-50. Tottenham, they needed it for the stadium.
And even in the Spurs, that's funny how they but you know how they fired Mourinho like the day after it was announced as well.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't to do with Super League, but it's the fact that now they know they had they thought they had their money, so we can afford to pay him 30 million and we can go for Nagelsmann.
He's actually 14 now. They brought it down to 14, or something like that, because they were not happy with his performances, like the team's performances, and there was something in the contract where if you don't reach a certain thing and you get fired, you can't. You'll get X amount of money, something like that. It wasn't that much.
It's still,
but if you got paid, it's 14 million instead of like that. Who else? Chelsea. we'll get onto what they did today. Like, there's no reason for them to be joining. Like, other than, well, I think Chelsea and City, same thing. If three of the big teams, Arsenal, Liverpool, and United, are all joining the Super
then obviously
League,
they're going to go in there.
They have to join. They are the big three, innit? United joined because they're American owners, and they are kind of broke as well. They do need money to an extent, like Liverpool. Other teams like Milan and Inter's doing this whole new rebrand of it. They need money to sort of market themselves across everywhere, making their badge all like, it says like M&M or something like that. It's just messed up in it. AC Milan, they are falling down. They remind me of Ajax, where Ajax were at one point like this and now they're here.
Yeah.
AC Milan are like going like this towards Ajax, and to stay up there, they need to get into the money, so they have to go into this. Juve, they can go. They're broke as well, but they can go themselves. Barca, so they're broke. Real Madrid, broke. They've got a new stadium. They need money for it. Broke. Atletico, like again, if Barca and Real Madrid are gone, you need to go.
They're gonna go as well, yeah.
So they're the reasons I think for why they'd gone. We were talking on Sunday like how they showed the games. We were like, oh, it's gonna be on VR and stuff. Like, imagine, I was thinking after you went, after you Oslo went, I was like, you know how Fortnite did those live events? Imagine if we had to like jump on Fortnite and watch these games for those live events, man.
And you buy the in-game skin in it for to support them ones, bro. I want to buy the Merseyside red. No, but I can't like all these man took the piss differently. Like all the Sky and them man, all of them they took the piss differently out of. Especially after the Leeds game, like I didn't really think Chelsea would be getting it today, but we got absolutely violated. Like
I mean Chelsea got a save today because of the whole withdrawal thing. They got saved because their performance today was shambolic. Yeah,
bro, I watched it. Bro, Brian had them on. I had them on ropes.
Danny Welbeck slapped the post late on.
Even McAllister, I think it was McAllister. He had like a good chance, and he just hit it.
Or Lallana or someone like that.
Lallana had they played well. And they were good, and they got the red card as well. A stupid red card. But
played well. Ben White played well. Going back to Super League. Money is the motivation. TV rights, they hadn't found the correct TV rights for it. They still haven't. Amazon came out today. I don't know if you saw what they said. They're like, we have no involvement in this. Like, we're not involved at all in this. Sky Sports can't legally give them rights, and like lots of domestic countries within Europe can't do it, except was it that American one? Oh, I forgot the name.
Bein or something.
No, it does the boxing.
Doesn't.
Oh, that's it. That's it. So they were in talks, I think, to sort of buy legal rights for it. Bein wouldn't have done it actually, and that leads on to PSG, because PSG's owner actually owns Bein. I don't know if you know that. PSG didn't get invited according to Florentino Perez.
And Bayern as well, yeah.
And Bayern and Dortmund. It's funny because this guy, okay, so we'll go on to Florentino now. Last night,
before we start, whatever he said, regardless of what he said, I have respect for a minute. Just because, in regards to whatever, like you might have been chatting absolute like crap, whatever, cool. But he did it with chest in it, and he actually went out and just went, cool. Yeah. He just said it all in. He was just like, whatever. This is how it is. This is what I think in it. It might have been completely wrong, and tomorrow been disproven. But for going out and saying all that in front of all the press and saying all that stuff, it takes on balls in it. So for that, I have respect. He's absolute, but I have respect for a minute. But I just thought I'd say that. But,
Sunday night had gone. We'd all been like left like no one really told us what was actually happening. Obviously, the Premier League and everyone came out and said, if you join this league, you have to leave the Premier League, and that had a sort of domino effect on all the other clubs below us, saying like, oh, if they leave, like they're not going to get enough money, basically. Like all the money that they normally generate would be playing at teams like Arsenal, like Liverpool, like United, like Chelsea, like City. You ain't gonna get paid money. Like Sky are not gonna be paying like a bag to stream West Ham and like Fulham or something like that, innit? Like it's just not the same. So obviously there was tension there, and then the fans, the uproar, and like you're leaving your own nation to do some stupid Super League, whatever. Sunday night gone. Monday came. Perez, it was late as well. Late last night. Do you lot want to talk about it?
I mean, he kind of just came out and just basically said like, "Screw everyone else," and screw everyone, like, you know.
Should we actually read out some of the tweets that he said?
That was jokes, man. The was saying was so funny.
Harris basically sort of came out with his chest, like Harry said, and said, "Listen, you lot can complain as much as you want, but it's gonna go ahead. Like, I don't care about you lot. This will go ahead." And there were certain things that he said, like
binding contract and stuff. That was...
So you've now signed the contract. You have to sort of. There's no way you can leave. That was the big one. You can't leave. What else did he say? He sort of dragged a lot of people into it. He said how this competition, like all the younger fans, they're not finding it interesting and entertaining anymore, and how we need to do this for the fans. 19 to 24-year-olds are not finding football fun. You shouldn't be like bored watching a football game. You need to be excited every. Like, it's just
he wants to make football games shorter as well.
Let's make it 5-minute halves and then a 2-hour
commercial break. Yeah,
with J-Lo and Beyonce on my screen for like 2 hours, because that's how they'll generate money, innit? What he said a lot of stuff, like so FIFA and UEFA said, if you do this, you're not going to be part of the Champions League. If you do this, your players can't be part of your nation playing in the World Cup, the Euros, and all these big tournaments that they're involved in. He just came out and said, "Nah, you're going to be part of that.
We'll make our own World Cup.
We'll make our own World Cup. You know, make our own World Cup." He what else did he say? He so
said a lot of things in it. Yeah,
I need to get it out.
The thing he said that was the maddest. He said we're trying to save football. And I don't, because like, what are you saving it from? Do you know what I mean? Like
what he wanted to make it out as if, and I actually believed it for like a good 2 hours last night. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was on board with him. Like I was on board with him, minute, and I don't like the guy, but I was on board with him for 2 hours. But when you take a step back, my man said, we're in a financial crisis right now because of COVID, and we need money to sort of like help our club sort of stay stable and whatnot. But you've been planning this for X amount of years before Corona even came. You're telling me you're doing this now. You just planned this now. Like, it's all cap. He said stuff like, what else did he say?
He said a lot of things. He was
it's all more to do with Real Madrid. It's not to do with the clubs. Real Madrid are also in debt. They need money for their stadium. They need some sort of backing from somewhere. And this is the quickest way, best way to sort of pay off whatever. They're playing in their training ground right now, yeah? Your match was in a training ground, yeah? They need money, fam. Their stadium right now, there's nothing there, yeah? There's nothing there. Like they Barca right now in the situation they're in, Real Madrid will get to that if this Super League ain't gonna happen, yeah? I'm just gonna put it out there. They want all this Mbappe and Haaland and all of this. They can't afford that. They can't afford that. If anything, I think Barca have more of a chance of getting these players
Mbappe or Haaland,
than Real Madrid. Without the Super League. With the Super League, say nothing. But without it,
I just feel like, you know, with the Super League, that means you give like, okay, say these 350 million, say the owners take 150 for themselves in it, just for argument's sake, and that's still 200 million. If you give 12 of the big like heavyweights in world football 200 million, doesn't that kind of that in a way, like getting that doesn't really benefit you in terms of buying players? Because realistically, like all of them are going to get it in it, so it doesn't really matter because it's not going to affect any all effectively in the same place. It's just that all of you got 200 million extra, but doesn't mean that I can give, like Liverpool can give 200 million for Haaland, but then Barca can give it as well, Real Madrid can give it as well. You know what I'm trying to say? It will just drive the prices up, if anything.
So Kel can explain this for me. This is what I don't understand, right? So it leads on to what you said. You see in the NBA, bro, Kel, you know when a player is a free agent, let's say, can any team sign him if they have cap space?
Yes. Unless he's an unrestricted free agent, which means like there's an obligation to re-sign with his current team if they can match the offer basically that anyone else gives. But if he's like if he's restricted. If he's unrestricted, then he can just go wherever if they have the finance within the cap space. So yeah.
How do you become unrestricted? Is that when your contract ends and you're a free agent?
I think I think it depends on the contract, but like if the contract just ended and there's nothing left on it, then it's unrestricted. Usually, like so it leads back onto that. If all the teams are given the same amount of money,
then that means that all the teams would have the same sort of leverage on signing these players, right? It will be like an equal sort of balance, like the NBA, right? I'd assume. And then it's the player's decision on where they get to go, right? Or is it something where that you can offer as much as you want in the NBA? Or everyone, is there like a max?
It's the player's decision, and like you can offer them a max contract, which will be like say 4 years, 150 million or something, and then that would be the max. And then other people can offer you the max as well. But it's based on more like the player choosing what franchise and city and stuff. So it would become based on like if a player's like, oh, the Real Madrid's offering me the same Liverpool is, Barca is, but oh, I think Barca is the biggest club, so I want to go Barca. It would become more about the actual club than like who's going to pay me more, sort of thing.
Yeah. So I think that's what it was going to lead to. I thought that's what it was in my head. Like all this Mbappe Haaland talk. I think if this whole Super League would have happened, it would have been that where all of us would have just all lined up with all the money we wanted. He would have done this whole like, the decision thing that LeBron did, where you got to pick the Miami Heat or whatever. It would have been some sort of shambles like that. Like it would have just turned into that, and that's what these want to do. You get money from this sort of like if Mbappe said, "Oh, I'm going to make a decision on this day, right? And I'm going to broadcast it on whatever TV." Do you know how much money these men would make? Like it's all business based. It's all like money orientated and whatever. And Perez just came out with and said, "Listen, I've got a backing from all of these lot have backed it. All of these lot have signed it. They can't leave. It's my thing." What else? He said Laporta's gonna say something today. Didn't say anything. Well, he also said, "Oh, I haven't talked to Mbappe yet," or something like that. And then
he's like laughing in it.
And then the PSG guy today said, "Oh, he's staying for sure." So we'll see what happens with that. What else did he say? I can't. He said some outrageous stuff though.
Yeah, I feel like we've covered all the bases. Like there wasn't really too much that I
with the okay. So before we get on to what happened today with the Super League, okay. Oh, this is another important thing. The whole idea of the Super League was to sort of get away from the Champions League because they didn't like the way the Champions League was laid out.
Even now, it's even worse.
So now, because there was going to be a reform for the Champions League anyway, they want to follow the Swiss model. Now, do any of you lot know the Swiss model off by heart, or should I read it out?
As in, I think I do, but then
just
I
read it.
Just misquote
I will read it out.
But basically, everyone in the same league, innit?
Yeah.
But how do they decide the 10 games that you're going to play? Like, how is it decided? Just randomly? Because you know how that you don't play everyone in the group and you just play 10 people, and then like, I don't know how it's distributed. Like, if Real Madrid pull up with bloody like, I don't even know, like Slavia Prague and them, man, then we get like bloody Barca, whatever. I'm assuming we qualify anyway. And then what's going to happen in it? You know what I mean?
Well, what they've said was there'll be more teams, so 36 instead of 32. If you fail to qualify, you would still be given a spot. There is more breaking news that I've just hit my phone, so I will read it out after this all ends. Okay.
If you fail to qualify.
New spot. So if you fail to qualify, for example, Arsenal, big club, massive club in England, top 3 for sure, right? They are now where? 9th or 10th, right? You have failed to qualify for the Champions League, but this new format would give them some sort of leverage on getting into it because of the status of their club.
No, but I heard that I heard that it's based on their history in the Champions League. So I don't think we'd be picked. It's based on how good they've done in like Tottenham, final, basically.
Have you not?
Yeah, made a final.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. Like you know how Tottenham made a final very recently. Like they're more likely to get selected because of how well they did. Do you know what I mean?
So does this mean like AC Milan are getting it every year, Inter are getting it every year, Arsenal are getting it?
I think it's based on the last year or two of like how they did. So like if the team the next year didn't qualify, but then the year before that in the Champions League they made like the semi-final, the final, then I think they'll look at them.
Maybe in a. Definitely,
is that happening this year? It's happening this year.
Yeah, 2023. Does that mean so like if Chelsea would get in the next year if they didn't?
Yeah, they'll get in every year.
Yeah.
I mean,
so why are these men complaining about all this stuff when really it doesn't? It's the same. Like
it's the same thing. It's the same thing, and
it's but it's still based on merit. Like based on merit, as in like what you did in that comp the last year. Whereas this is like, oh, historically you're a big club, so we're gonna put you in the Super League. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's still kind of
both
not
corrupt,
the same.
man. Both corrupt.
It's
innit?
still kind of stupid. I don't agree
Yeah,
with it, but
just stupid, man. I thought Wenger
it's
would have
just a
done
lesser
would have done
version.
more. I can't lie. No, my homeboy, innit? He would have done something, innit?
What else did he, one league. So it was one league, like Harry said, one straight league. Best 8 out of 36 reached the knockouts.
Man said it's the IPL, bro.
Other teams to qualify through new round of playoffs. Knows what that means.
I think it's like 9th to 24th, and they play against each other for a round of 16, something like that.
So that's more games on top of that. So
Yeah, round of 16.
It's just slavery, innit? It's basically slavery, innit?
It's
Play more games.
It's like round of 32 thing, innit? Because it's like to qualify for the round of 16. So yeah, it's a round of 32.
And right now, every team has about 6 games in the group stage guaranteed. With this format, it's guaranteed 10.
The players are gonna like drop.
Oh my god, it's popping off. Do not look. I will tell you at the end.
No,
I want to look.
Oh wait, Agaash, I can't lie. I need to go toilet. Can you like edit here from this point?
All right, back.
Okay,
go.
Thank you.
All right, we're back. What was I saying?
About Champions League format.
Oh yeah, so the new Champions League format is a mess. UEFA have always been corrupt. FIFA have always been corrupt. UEFA.
UEFA, yeah.
UEFA. Another fun fact. Out of the money that UEFA generate, 9% of it goes back to them, right? Fairly, and they invest it then back into the tournament. So that all that money goes back into the tournament to have the footballs, to have all the staff and this and that and everything, blah blah, the banners and whatnot. The rest of that money gets distributed back to the clubs that participated, right? But you don't know how much percent your club will get. It's not clear. It's not transparent. And that's what Perez said yesterday. He said another thing. How comes we know all the little details of LeBron James's wages, but we don't know all the little details of all the people getting paid off in UEFA, where that money is going? We don't know where that's going. They say that 90 or 80% of it goes back to the teams, but how do we know that? But yeah, they're both as corrupt as each other. It's like picking between two villains, isn't it? Perez is a villain. He's a super villain. The guy is 75, 74, came in an interview for 1 hour, put everyone in a split. Man did Thanos bang, finished everyone. And I genuinely thought for 2 hours there, I sat there, I fully deeped it. I was comparing the two formats, right? If we were to replace the Champions League and have the Super League, I actually think it would work. And I have reasons for that. And one of them is it's a private thing, right? I don't know about you lot, but you don't like VAR, right? You both don't like VAR.
As in, I think we need VAR, but it needs to be implemented correctly, innit?
Yeah, I agree.
With this new Super League, we wouldn't even have VAR if we wanted to. It's our decision. Not our decision, but it's the leader's decision. And they would obviously say this and that. Like, we wouldn't have it. We could not have it. With the whole idea of there'll be another like card, like a sin bin card. We could have that. I think that's a good idea.
They could have robot referees, They could do what they want.
You can like stadium, like they can have like a thing where if the ball goes out of play, the timer gets stopped, sort of thing, you know.
Well, a basketball.
Man said FIFA slow the time down.
You see what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff, they could do it. Like it sort of. There are some good things.
You can make a better game in the
Basically, right? Obviously, not the whole shortening down the games to like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, like halves, like it's stupid. But there are things that you can do that it would look and it would work. But the problem is, if you join the Super League, you're not part of your domestic competitions. Now, we slept on that night, last night, and we were like, you know, I slept last night. I don't know about you lot, but the way these men were talking and the way these men were fully
conviction with conviction.
I fully thought this was happening. I don't know about you lot. I fully thought this was gonna happen. Like I was getting ready in it. Like one of them ones where there'll be no FIFA. Yeah, you man who chat about FIFA. That's it. Yeah. You know,
Manchester had Reds in it. Manchester had Reds. Madrid Whites.
Now Pez back.
Yeah,
2022.
Like it was all nuts, fam. Like all these things, all these scenarios.
There's so many like knock-on effects. It was bad.
Like so much, right? TV rights. Like this whole idea of like I don't know if you knew this, right? But if they're gonna put this much money into teams, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I said that, give me your idea on this, Harish. You know, if your team makes a playoff, Liverpool make a playoff, right, against Real Madrid, let's say Real Madrid, two big teams, right? You generate most of the money, like revenue-wise, in terms of Champions League. You lot have one of the biggest fan bases, right? Let's be honest, right? That game, it can't be played. Let's say that game can't be played. Like, it's 3 games. Remember, it's 3 games. Like, the first one to 2 wins, is it? It's instead of aggregate, right? For the Super League.
Something like that,
It's a maximum of 3 games. So no aggregate score. If you win your game and then Real Madrid win their game, it goes down to the final game. That final game, instead of it going to any one of your stadiums, they would easily move it to America, right?
Yeah.
They would easily move it to
Malaysia,
or China or Beijing. Like, you know what I mean, right? That's not good at all, innit, for us.
Yeah, of course not.
And a couple years ago, Kel, a Champions League away ticket at Emirates was like £800, £900. Yeah? You think we can afford us, man, going to Kuala Lumpur on a Wednesday or on a Thursday? It's not gonna work.
Football's for the working class people, isn't it? Yeah, bro.
It's not gonna work. And I think they're gonna eventually move it to a thing where this whole league will just move like to America or Asia or something, innit? Because all these Americans, especially North Americans, they'll all take their family of 10 full of to just go to the club store, spend about a bag or like £1,000 on merchandise, go to the thing with like hats of just Manchester United, let's go, standing there like that, yeah. Not even that, they don't even do BLM.
They'll buy the City kit by accident, and they'll be like, oh yeah.
I don't know, they'll buy the Fade City kit,
they're just going for they're going for a fun day out. Whereas for us, as much as it sounds mad, to America, like I've spoken to my Canadian cousins, their whole idea of sport is very different to us. Like, we are so passionate about it over here on this side compared to Americans, isn't it? I know they are passionate about it, but like for us lot here, right, it's like a religion. And if you take that away from some people, like a faith from some people, it's not going to act well. Like, it's not going to sit well with anyone. No one. And when you do that, when they've done that now, the backlash came. And today, Chelsea riots. Not even a riot, it was just a protest before the game.
Did you see the videos of Baghdad shouting?
I saw him there. Yeah. No, I didn't see him there, but I saw the video. I was like, I saw him there.
It's Baghdad, man. He's actually the guy. Petr Cech was like, "Everyone, calm down. Give us time." Also, is Corona just going on holiday today? It's just like, yeah, bro.
I mean, we're chilling now, innit? I don't want to say touch wood,
touch wood,
but like we've dealt with it pretty well compared to other countries. They protested today before the game. Oh, let's talk about that. No, forget that. Yesterday's Liverpool game. What are your thoughts on that? Like the whole thing beforehand and stuff.
The whole.
Not even the game. Because I know. Let's be honest. The performance was gonna happen in it. Like, you're not gonna play.
We were actually okay first half in it, but it's screw that. But obviously, so big up to Klopp. Obviously, like I expected nothing less from him. You know, speaking his mind, saying back in his word, didn't it?
This was on the Monday night, like when it got like a day or when it got announced, something, and they were the first team to sort of be put under public criticism. And Gary Neville beforehand was taking a piss at me. Anyways, Karen.
And obviously, like I understand his comments and I appreciate everything he said, but the whole thing with him going after Gary Neville is like, you man are on the same side, and don't like why fighting with each other. Like, I get his comment because Neville was taking the piss a bit too much in it. Like, end of the day, like there's only so much Klopp can say in it. Like, he's the first one to probably be questioned about it. Tuchel just went, "Oh, it's my job as Chelsea manager." He just said nothing and he just waffled in it. And then he's the first one to say something, and then Neville goes and takes a piss out of him. It's like, oh, okay, like. Like, you know, Neville's a manager. We all saw what happened, didn't it? Like, he doesn't really want to chat. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's a thing of that. And it's like you got to have a bit. You got to back the manager, because at the end of the day, like the players didn't know. Like, they all we found at the same time as you in it. And like the managers were so out of the loop, and like the players were out of the loop that it shows, and it was purely just the thing of the owners, isn't it? So I felt bad for Klopp in a way because he was getting like slandered, and like Matt, and he's literally saying how like, if I'm the problem, I'll go in it. Like, man's trying about leaving the club when you're the reason we're here, innit? Like, we wouldn't be like, everyone would be banning us like Tottenham and Arsenal if it wasn't for you, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we would be like, "Hi, you in the suit? Like, what is this?" You know, it's because of him, innit? And it's just a thing of like, I just feel like the whole t-shirt thing, like, fair enough, innit? Do your thing. Like it was a good message in it. Like it's just standing up against the big clubs. Like we're not afraid. We're not whatever. Cool. I get that. But I just think Klopp might have taken it as like a personal insult.
Yeah, he
think
did.
of like he did because the way the comments
you were offered it as well, no, to wear it.
Well,
the shirt. Yeah, because it was what he was annoyed about was that it was put in your dressing room, your away dressing room as well, the shirts. And he didn't like that because he was like, "Oh, it's an attack on my players, an attack on us." Where
it is though. It is.
Yeah.
But it would have been a massive message. Obviously, he can't do that. He can't go against like, his employees and whatnot. But like, I don't think Leeds meant it in that way.
Yeah.
But he's an emotional guy, innit? That's how he is. Like,
bruv, he's like, like I've been seeing. I saw like articles talking about Klopp's hair loss and stuff, and I'm just like, bruv, like we're in such a time right now where like there's so much going on, and this guy lost his mom, his team's like we're in the mud differently, and these men are chatting about hair loss. It's like, come on, give the guy a break, innit? And I think Klopp is generally like he is a sore loser. I'm not gonna deny that by any stretch of the imagination, innit? But I feel like he gets a lot of stick because he is so good, and like everyone loves to go at Klopp. Like whenever Klopp loses, it's never a good reaction, innit? But I don't know what you expect. I don't want my manager to be laughing like Ole starts laughing every time he loses. I don't want that, innit? I'd rather he's salty because I know he cares, innit? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I want to see that, innit? But at the same time, obviously, I know some of his like post-match comments have been very bad, innit? But I'm getting off topic, innit? But basically, back to this whole thing. I just think that like they could have handled that a bit better in it from both sides as well. Obviously, Liverpool, like the players should have said. The only one that really said something was Milner at the end of the game. Only Henderson's when he spoke today. He's the only one that came with it. Like Milner yesterday was just like, oh yeah, like we got in his Instagram comments, he was just like in a caption, he was just like, oh, obviously it's post-match interview as well. But what I saw was that he was just like, oh, we drew. It's not like the best result, but we still need to get top 4 for Champions League qualification. Like he's just bantering a bit in it. So it's just like, yeah, cool, whatever. Like there wasn't a lot of players that spoke out in it, and that's what I saw. Obviously, you expect that from Milner in it, but what my thing was just that, all right, cool, you said all this, but just don't lose your head. Like you're kind of playing into the narrative. I mean, like you're like, because even Leeds, like after the game, they were like, oh, I forgot what was it. It was what did they tweet? They were like, oh, 1-1
against the Merseyside Reds or something,
like that. It's like, all right, cool. These men are bannering us, and then it's not you in it. So why are you taking the bait? Like end of the day, in it, like because it doesn't stand for the fans. But bro, these men were outside, like Bill bloody Shankly's son wanted him to take down the statue. Like all these men were against it, and like no one was on for it. But then the more you man play into that narrative, and like these men were bloody chasing down. I don't know if you lot saw, but there's videos of like Leeds fans, Liverpool fans chasing down the bus, screaming and shouting at them. It's like, like no one was for this, innit? But then when you start to play and taking their bait and then get into beef with people that are on your side, it takes away from your message in it. It kind of makes you think like, oh, maybe Klopp wants this because he wants money or he wants his big paycheck, whatever. Obviously, we all know that he doesn't in it, but a bit of waffling. Basically, end of the day, I just think that it was a good message overall, but there were points where he kind of fumbled the bag, and that's what I'd say. Yeah, that's what I think.
He was the first one to speak out, and then that night we sort of left to go to bed thinking, oh, it's actually going to happen, sort of thing. Today afternoon, Pep was questioned and man went off.
Beautiful, it was beautiful, bro.
That was lovely.
Yeah, man,
he just said, listen, like he's also like Pep, like Jurgen. He's been against the idea. He fully said, like it's not a competition. Like no sport should have this thing where you can't be relegated, sort of thing. Like how does the teams get picked? How can someone not get relegated? How are Ajax? I'm not even joking. Ajax are bigger than like 6-7 of these clubs. Yeah, I'm not even bannering. Yeah. And Juve act like they're bigger. They're the biggest team in Italy. They're not the biggest team in Italy. Yeah? They're not the biggest team in Italy. AC Milan are the biggest team in Italy.
AC Milan, yeah, of course, yeah.
They act like they're some next big. They're not. They are big. They're not that big. Yeah, relax.
How many UCLs you got in it? Them ones.
But yeah, Pep came out and said, look, Ajax are not in there. Like, how are they not in there? How are they not been invited to it? He said, oh, it's not competitive. It's not a sport. Like I'm here to compete. I'm here to. It's not fun. And that was a clear message. He's going against his employees. And it's sort of, from that, it just sort of all just fell apart. Like everyone was going crazy. Like I think Bruno Fernandes was earlier before that.
He retweeted. He was like, you can't buy something. Yeah,
something like that. Marcus Rashford came out. Luke Shaw came out. Harry Maguire came out. Ozil came out the other day.
Then Henderson did his thing with the whole meetings.
Today,
my captain it.
And then the Chelsea.
You know what's funny? Harry Kane, England captain Harry Kane said nothing in it.
I think he's still upset about Mourinho, innit? That part of him, innit?
Nah, man, come on, you're bloody England captain. You should be saying something, man. Innit? Man. Make Henderson captain, innit? But it's not.
He's a G. I love Henderson. Chelsea game came. Protest outside the stadium. Didn't let the team.
That was cold.
For
I
like
can't lie. That
half
was
an
cold.
hour, 45
That was
minutes.
cold.
Man
That was
sitting
cold.
there.
Yeah, that was cold. I can't lie.
Tuchel actually before the game wasn't happy about that. I don't know if you saw. He was like, I was stuck in the team, giving my team talking the bus for half an hour. Do you really think I can give out a message like that where everyone's shouting at us at every single sort of corner? Obviously, I'm not gonna like with Liverpool, Chelsea today was, but I'm gonna give them a benefit that I just get the job done against West Ham on Saturday. That's all that matters. And then all just collapsed. Everyone said, yeah, no. UEFA stood strong. Seferin and FIFA or Infantino or whatever. They stood strong, and now officially, all the English clubs are backed up, have withdrawn, and we're filming it right now. Obviously, Man City were the first ones earlier on, and then Chelsea and everyone kept saying Ed Woodward resigned.
All the United fans are gas, man. They're all gas.
He's gone for the end of the season. He's resigning. The end of the season. United fans have wanted this for the longest amount of time. On 420, I'm very happy for you lot. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy your day. Everyone's just it's slowly gonna crumble. There was a meeting today with all the 12 clubs. The Spanish teams.
Zoom meeting.
Okay, with Atletico, I think they can't say much now. But with them, I think they're gonna probably leave first out of the Spanish teams. Barca will leave. It's down to the socios, and
I swear you didn't really join in the first place. I swear you didn't.
Yeah, so it's Bartomeu who signed the stuff. Laporta agreed to it as well. I'm not gonna say he didn't, but he agreed to it as well. But he wasn't. So he was asked on the radio recently, on Sunday, what are your opinions on it? And he just said vaguely like, it's not all about the money, but other things like there are other alternatives, sort of thing, you know. And like it's just so obvious in the way you speak about it. If you say stuff like that, it shows that you're not interested in it at all. Right? So I think eventually, like he said openly, like, oh, if the socios are happy with doing it, then we'll do it. But I can almost guarantee you they're not going to be okay with it. And that leaves only leaves 4 teams. I think Milan and Inter, especially with fans, that their fans are like hella crazy. I don't think that will work out. I think Juventus will crumble at one point. The old lady will stop singing at some point. And Real Madrid, I don't know what will happen with them. But Perez, you are a bum. I respect you for what the effort you put in, but you put us in a split for an hour, and then today, you said don't leave. We just walked.
No, I'm glad it happened though, because now there's gonna be a big reshuffle in like the way football is run.
Oh yeah, so the what people said this is a power play thing, isn't it?
We didn't talk about the 50+1 thing. If we think it's a good idea as well.
I don't actually. My brother was trying to tell me about it. We'll get on to it. But I'm just gonna say beforehand. I hope this reshuffles the whole Champions League. Obviously, this whole Swiss model got accepted and whatnot, but I hope at someone just says no, because this Swiss model means more games. The players will get injured. Yeah, like there's no protection whatsoever on players. You've got extra games. You have international games on top of that. We have a Qatar World Cup next year in the winter. It's an important time, winter, especially for Premier League teams. Winter time is mad crazy. Like players are going to be dropping like injured everywhere.
Like flies in it.
Like you can't do this. Obviously, it's the 2024 thing, Swiss model, but just change it. You need to know where the money goes. UEFA and FIFA are as corrupt as Perez and these men in it, and Agnelli and all of these lot. So when there becomes more transparency, it will be a better world, better footballing world. I hope. Now, the 50+1 thing is the German thing, right? My brother told me about it. I don't actually understand it. Do you care to explain before we
I feel like my explanation won't be that good. I feel like the concept is basically just that. So the clubs are actually 50% owned by the like an owner, I guess that's what you would call them, like the traditional owners, and then it's like plus 1 stake in the fans, basically. So like I guess technical side leave it, but the important message is that the owners can't just do what they want in it. They have to take a vote from the fans because they have like a stake in the club in it. Like everyone has like a.
It's the same way Barca have something where if the fans or the associates want to do something, the members, they can put something ahead like that. It's very different in England, isn't it? It's very different in England. You can't do much, especially Arsenal. Exactly. If the fans had their rights, like by now they would be top of the league. they they would have pushed for maybe not top of the league, but they would be up there in it if the fans wanted what they wanted. But I understand that. Yeah, 50. Yeah, maybe. But I don't think that will ever happen in England.
Yeah, no, but I would be very I'd want that to happen. But yeah, I guess no Brentford season tickets.
Yeah, we were planning on getting Brentford season tickets.
Oh, I was getting ready to get Reading shirt and everything.
Oh. But yeah, support your local teams, isn't it? Like we have somewhere the Brentford QPR.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. Kel has like Reading and Wickham. Milton Keynes. Watford. I don't know, but just support your local teams. They need more help than the bigger teams. Remember, at the end of the day, all of this is stemmed from the problem in England and the Premier League. The Premier League is just as bad. Do remember this as well. You do know about the whole Newcastle shenanigans that happened in the summer, with the whole takeover.
Yeah, they blocked it.
And that whole takeover was blocked by the Premier League to protect the top six. And now the top six said, nah, say nah, and we're going to go jump on a Super League. Shows how powerful the Premier League are, isn't it?
Well, there's a chance, because I saw this thing is like, if Newcastle got relegated, they could do it, yeah? They could get the takeover.
Yeah. It's easier to get. Mike Ashley wants them relegated. They're not going to get relegated now, but
then bloody St. Maximin's pulling out the bag in it. But yeah, if they got relegated, it'd be easier, innit? But they could actually get the takeover. But yes.
This was a shenanigans, man.
Also, FSG, #FSG out. Just thought
hashtag Cronky out.
Yes, please. Oh my god. We need Dan Gotze in it. We need him.
I just want all the Americans in the league that think it's some sort of franchise, like it's some sort of like brand S out in it. You man do your own thing like over there. Like it's not us lot here. This is proper. It's not soccer in it. You lot think it's soccer, like you can drop it on some BN Sports or ESPN. No, not ESPN. But you know what I mean in it. Like it's not. Don't take the piss in it. When you turn on the fans, you lot will get the rough in it. And today you found it out.
Sorry, bro, man.
You lot are not gonna win here, especially in Europe. You lot are not gonna win. Like it's never gonna happen. I think and there's Burnley have an American owner, right? They apparently fans in America that are Burnley fans in America, yeah. They said that they find it so funny that there's a relegation in the Premier League. They find it so like, why do they have that? Whereas in the MLS, I can finish like bottom of the league and I'll still be what's the point?
Seattle. I can't.
And like in this whole playoff thing in the Super League, if you finish in like a playoff place, or like not even a playoff place, you play 10 games, right? Within 7-8 games, you will know where you'll finish, right? So for the ninth and 10th game, yeah. Let's say you play, it's Liverpool against Barca, yeah. Let's say we play against each other, Harish, and we're gonna both finish 9th and 10th, where we know we're done out, yeah. They're gonna put our game in Kuala Lumpur, yeah. They're gonna play we're gonna play Braithwaite and Junior Furper and all these man. You lot are
Bruce
not
is gonna come back from Sheffield, isn't it?
Brewster, you see what I mean? It's not serious. How is it gonna work?
Kyle might start a game.
There's no incentive. There's no incentive whatsoever. So
I hear that, man.
This whole thing is just a mess. I'm glad it's done. I hope it's done. It's not. It's confirmed that we've submitted a sort of. We want to withdraw.
But it's the closing stages, isn't it?
I hope it's done.
Just thank you to the fans of football in it for once. Everyone came together.
It shows how powerful we are.
Neville, Carragher, Lineker, all of them, man, in it. They did bits, bro, in it. But
and let's try to do some more for racism as well, in it.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Racism. Same energy, fam, innit? Same energy, bro.
Like, come on. And stop the Asian hate as well. But yeah, that was the European Super League roundup. Before we go, lads, are you going to be playing the new Warzone update tomorrow? The new Verdansk.
There's an update now, by the way, that I clocked because I was jumping on FIFA to check my Div Rival score thing, and then there was an update for that as well. So and then Wednesday there's like
before the update.
Yeah, it's not a big one because it got done quite quickly, but yeah, just to let you guys know. And I can jump on Wednesday if you want. I think the map will be changed. I don't know.
Yeah. The map changes tomorrow at 8 p.m. So on a Wednesday. If you haven't already
done it,
like, subscribe, follow the.
I think it's not recording, by the way.
Agaash. It is recording. Don't worry.
It is. I can see that.
It says it's not recording.
That was the EuroLeague shenanigans. I might actually call that the European Super League shenanigans discussion. It's just briefly what happened. Obviously, there's more to it, but we're not educated. We're still fans. We're just saying what we know. It was never going to happen. We knew that for a fact. Perez tried and he failed. I hope he leaves and just goes somewhere and just retire. He's Thanos, isn't it? I'll put the Thanos image right now. That guy is Thanos. Yeah, that guy is like, just leave, innit? Just get out of here. Trying to make football. You know what? I don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, like, subscribe, follow the TikTok account, follow the podcast accounts. Hopefully, we don't need to talk about this anymore. And if we do, then we'll see you then, innit? Yeah. Yeah. See ya.